If we don't do it, it won't be done. And we will continue to be injured and to wonder what's wrong. We know what's wrong, friends. We have to begin to address it. Among the most accomplished and fabled tribes of Africa, no tribe was considered to have warriors more fearsome or more intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It is perhaps surprising then to learn the traditional greeting that passed between Maasai warriors. Kasarian and Gera, one would always say to another, meaning, and how are the children? It is still the traditional greeting among the Maasai, acknowledging the high value that they place on their children's well-being. Even warriors with no children of their own would always give the traditional answer, all the children are well. Yes, all the children are well. Meaning, of course, that peace and safety prevail, that the priorities of protecting the young, the powerless are in place, that Maasai society has not forgotten its reason for being, its proper functions and responsibility. All the children are well means that life is good. It means that the daily struggles of existence, even among a poor people, do not preclude their proper care for their young. I wonder how it might affect our consciousness of our own children's welfare if in our culture we took to greeting each other with this same daily question. And how are the children? I wonder if we heard that question and passed it along to each other a dozen times a day, if it would begin to make a difference in the reality of how children are thought of or cared for in this country. I wonder if every adult among us, parents and non-parent alike, felt an equal weight for the daily care and protection of the children. I wonder if we could say without any hesitation, the children are well. Yes, all the children are well. Our children are not well. They are not. And I strongly believe that they can be healed. They can be prevented from carrying all of the baggage, all of the injuries that I have, the injuries that I carried that my mother had and my father had and your mother and father had. I believe that if we really stand together, if we exemplify the things we know to be true and real, the things that Dr. King gave his life for, I think we can be certain that we can say, all the children are well. Dear friends, let the healing begin. Thank you.
Let us thank God again for Dr. Leary. This is so profound. And it's just been beautiful to see all of you be so attentive today and to listen. But she's excellent. She knows how to throw in scholarship. She knows how to use humor. She knows how to use the experiences for motherhood. She knows how to do it all. She's just a bad black woman. And it's with that kind of love that we want to express to her today. And we want to thank you so much, Dr. Lear, on behalf of Dr. Butts, who is traveling, speaking on King Day. We thank you so much for traveling all the way from Portland to come to New York. We wish that we could keep you here in New York, but if Portland is as you said is, you may need to be out there to get them straight too. But her tapes are here and CDs are here. They will be in the bookstore of the church. You can go down to the lobby area and purchase tapes, CDs of Dr. Leary after this service. And now we're going to entertain a few questions. There are 2 microphones that are here. Please go to the microphone. We may not be able to get to all of the questions, but we will try to get to as many as possible. So if you will go to the microphones, and we will let Dr. Leary answer those questions. And wow, I know it's going to be a lot of questions, so we'll get to as many as we can. And as you come forward, if you will state your question, state your name and state your question. Comments, we have just thanked her, but we want to hear your question so that we can make sure that she can answer them.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, Dr. Leary. I'm Christine Melton Jordan. I just want to ask you, I've been very negative on shows like Roots and the various different slave shows that come out year after year, the Sally Hemings and so forth, because I feel like in all of those things, besides the Haile Gerima movie, that slavery, even though we're learning our history, there's always an aspect of it that romanticizes slavery. So when people say, oh, this historical thing's going to be on, make sure you look at it, make sure you have your children look at it. I'm so negative on Roots because it romanticizes the slave master raping the children. What should we do to teach our children all of our history and not have them, because I think they feel subservient after they watch Roots, because that slave master raped us and it looked romantic in some form. What can we do about that?
I think that as a parent, I have children, and I think it is the first level of education needs to happen at home. Which, when the brother talked about racial socialization, he's talking about giving that accurate picture. Of course, obviously, we need our own schools. We need schools that are talking about the true history, and we need to read. We need to read, we need to share with our children, and we need to do that anyhow, because there are a whole lot of things far worse than those historical issues around black people. I'm more concerned about all of the obsession with wealth and the fact that people will demean themselves and eat dirt and foul things and all this for $1 million. It bothers me that their depiction of black people and other. I'm not that worried about Roots and that sort of thing. But I think if children are centered and have a sense of who they are, then they have something to buttress the lies and the ignorance. We can't get angry if we're not doing our part. And the problem is, schools aren't doing it, then we need to do it. We need to do it in the communities, in churches like this one. There's no reason why that education should not be taking place so that our children can intelligently decipher the nonsense. And the problem is they don't have anything to weigh it against. I mean, that's my answer. And we are getting more black producers and more black writers that are getting a little more freedom. But you know what runs the media industry? You know who runs it? So what we got to appreciate is, I got to respect those brothers and sisters that are willing to get out there and stand out there, albeit not exactly what we want. But we got to provide the other balance on the other side. That's right.